Hello everybody, welcome back to NatCat. Today we are looking at a video called Scary Videos Caught on Ring Doorbell Cameras, and it's by Nismo, if I pronounce it correctly. So hopefully we get to see some freaky ass people. So let's watch.
For my first video of 2023, I decided to compile 10 ring cam break-in attempt videos that have recently gone viral on Reddit, Twitter, and TikTok. Although most of these encounters end in close calls, some of the clips result in fatal outcomes for the perpetrator attempting to break into the homeowner's property. Let me know which of the 10 surprised you the most, and feel free to share any updates if you have more information than what I provided in the clips above. Here are 10 videos of attempted robberies caught on Ring doorbell cameras. The first clip has recently gone viral on Twitter as it shows an unbelievably close call when two female friends are ambushed walking down their apartment corridor. Seconds before they walk into frame, we see two masked individuals walking up an additional flight of stairs and take precautions to ensure they aren't spotted. They inconspicuously hide from the other two people, preparing to set them up for a robbery. Once the second set of individuals walk down the hallway, the masked duo sneaks out from behind and charges towards their targets. In an unexpected twist of events, the two targets are armed with a gun and fire at various times down the corridor. The echo of the shots ring through the building, and we see the two suspects running in the opposite direction, and it easily sounds like over 10 shots are fired in that small apartment hallway before the video abruptly cuts off. The last frame in the video is a concerned neighbor opening their door before promptly shutting it back closed when he realizes what's going on. I don't know the context behind the story, but the two suspects more than likely knew the unsuspecting individuals prior to the attack. It just turned out to be a miraculous outcome that no one was hurt considering all the flying bullets shot in that short amount of time.
It's like those two girls was prepared for that. Unless they're like, no stuff really goes down there. And I'm assuming it was the two girls that did the shooting. Wow. Those chicks are hardcore. That guy's like, oh hell no, I ain't gonna get caught in between the crossfire. But you see, it's like those two girls that came up the stairs. It's like almost like they knew something was going to happen, unless they stay in an area that like it's best to like carry a gun around type of thing. But I mean, it's almost like they had like a suspicion or some type of gut instinct that something was going to happen. Unless it wasn't them and it was somebody else, like maybe a boyfriend or a husband, or you know, because we can't really see what happens down there. But jeez, I don't think those people was expecting gunshots to happen.
This next clip is the living embodiment of how things can drastically change in the blink of an eye. The ring cam shows three friends ending their evening after a night out. While in the middle of giving each other hugs and saying their goodbyes, a man with a gun sneaks out from behind the car in the right side of the video. The armed man is wearing a light beanie cap and has visibly long hair done up in braids. He orders the group of friends to get against the wall multiple times, and he warns them not to turn around or he will shoot them in the leg. He becomes more forceful and begins to grab the victims and orders them to take out their wallets. He shouts at them to give them all their valuables, including their rings, wallets, purses, and so on. By the sound of it, this appears to be a straightforward robbery attempt. He warns them multiple times not to turn around in what I can only assume is an indicator that he is going to let them go. Unfortunately, the video cuts away after recording for 60 seconds with no explanation on what happens to these three friends. Before the video ends, we see a vehicle parallel park across the street. This catches the perpetrator off guard and he's forced to leave the area shortly after.
Get against the wall. Get against the wall. Get against the wall. Get against the wall. This wall over here. This wall over here. Don't turn around. If you turn around, I'm going to shoot you in your leg. This way. This way. This way. Get against the wall. Get against the wall. Tell your purse. Take out your wallet. Take off your ring. If I tell you again, I'm going to shoot you in your fucking leg. Take out your wallet. And take off your ring.
Yeah, I'm taking it off.
And you, give me your purse. Throw it behind
Give
me.
me my wallet.
Give me your ring. Give me all of it. Give me all your where your wallet at? Where your money at? If I gotta keep on saying that,
What first?
Okay, for starters, I have never been in that type of position, and never do I want to be in that position. Okay, unless I'm suppose if you're firearm expert, or if you just genuinely know your stuff, maybe you could tell if he was maybe carrying a real gun or a fake gun. But I suppose in that position, it's like you're so overwhelmed with fear, you're not going to be able to like see if it's a real gun or not. But it's just like, it's almost like the guy wasn't intending to harm, but like, I'll shoot you in the leg. Don't, okay, that is painful. It's painful and stuff like that. So it's like, good thing that there was a car that came to go park there. And like, sometimes you just want to like turn around and smash the person's face in. I mean, we all work hard every day for the small little positions that we've got, you know. We spend our last X amount of money on buying that ring, or our X amount of money buying that phone that you just bought this morning because somehow your previous phone broke. You know, it's like we all spend what little money we've got, and then it's like you get some idiot like that just comes to rob you so that he can make a quick buck for something. You know, it's so unfair. It's horrible, because in a rat rate we all could just steal from everybody, you know. It's horrible. I mean, it's so unfair. It's really unfair.
The routine of re-entering their home after an errand ends up becoming a nightmare for this mother and daughter. About 5 minutes pass before we see a young man who we later find out is the ex-boyfriend to the girl in the beginning of the video.
No.
At first, he just stands there menacingly, but then becomes more aggressive with his approach. He attempts to force open the knob, and when that doesn't work, he starts charging at the door with his body. If you listen closely, you can hear the homeowner saying that they are armed with a gun.
Break your arm, dude.
The young man is successful in breaking down the door, but then we unexpectedly hear a gunshot go off in the background. The ex-boyfriend is caught off guard and is shot a total of 3 times by the homeowner before he realizes what's going on. He attempts to walk out of the gun's target range but stumbles and collapses on the front lawn. A couple of minutes pass by before a concerned neighbor makes his way over to check on the young man. The ex-boyfriend's name was James Rail, and he was 22 years old when he was fatally shot outside the Sydney, Ohio home on July 31st, 2002. During his autopsy, it was revealed that James was shot twice in the shoulder and once fatally in the back during this home evasion attempt. A grand jury voted 8-1 against indicting the homeowner on charges related to James's killing. And this sparked some outrage from James's family, who demanded the homeowner be charged with homicide following the fatal shooting of the 22-year-old intruder.
I'm doing it. Wait. Let's leave. Hey, he's coming back. Nope, I'm coming. James, she doesn't want to talk to you.
So I'm just talking with the neighbor.
He's trying to break in and get to our daughter.
Okay, well he's not moving, he don't have a gun.
He broke our door in.
Did you shoot him?
Yes.
Okay. Call 911.
We're on the phone with him right now.
This next clip showcases...
You know, okay, yes. I mean, just looking at, okay, I'm no professional, okay? But I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. But you can even see in this guy's eyes, like, to me, he kind of looked like dead, you know? But for starters, no, you don't have to start firing. You don't have to start shooting. Yes, the boy's family also needs to understand he was getting aggressive first. He was basically trying to, you know, break in, you know, to try and get to the daughter. And yes, out of concern, the mother did start shooting, and yes, she did kill the kid, the boy. I'm saying kid, he's 22. But I mean, she also handled the situation very wrong. She should have then at least phoned the cops and told the cops whatever, you know. She didn't have to start firing. She really didn't have to do that. Throw a pot or throw a shoe or something if he manages to get in. But the thing is, don't like tell your daughter, go phone the cops, get the cops. Don't immediately start shooting. I mean, that's something you're gonna have to. Okay, we don't know what went down in the relationship between the daughter and this guy. Okay, we don't know what it was like. For all we know, it could have been one of the most brutal relationships ever. It could have been one of the most brilliant relationships ever. We don't know. Okay, for the mother to actually go to that extreme and to actually start shooting him and actually like, okay, granted, I don't know if maybe it was her intention to kill him or not. We don't know either. Point to the story I'm trying to say is just phone the cops before you sit with this huge thing on your head and this huge thing on your shoulders. Just phone the cops, throw a shoe, throw a pot, make him go KO or something. Just leave it at that. Phone the cops, throw a pot, throw a shoe, and leave the guns for later. That's what I would have done, to be honest.
Case is a robbery attempt foiled in real time when a couple out on a walk are followed by this armed duo in Denver, Colorado. Allegedly, the homeowners were out on a walk when this man and woman began following them back to their house. When walking up to the front door, the man quickly pulls out his gun to begin his robbery attempt, and that's when the homeowner is quick on his feet and shuts the door before the armed assailant can fire his weapon. To me, the most infuriating part about the video isn't just the brazenness of the gunman, but the smugness of his accomplice, who smirks when the homeowner retreats to safety.
What's so smug about that? You don't need to be smug about that.
It's almost as if this is a common occurrence for the two perpetrators, but luckily the slamming of the door was enough to deter the two criminals from following through with their plan. Unfortunately,
smug just because the homeowner closed the door. I mean, like, come on, what do you have to be smug about that? You flipping off tucktail and ran. I mean, hello. It would have been funny if he just tripped and fell flat on his face. I would have laughed. I would have opened that door. It's not a laugh here. I was like, idiot.
this couple went on to successfully rob another innocent bystander just hours later.
Wow. Well, she felt like an idiot. That's why she looked so smug. Dumb idiots, really. I would have loved it if you fell flat on your face.
After watching this next clip, I am much more inclined to believe in divine intervention, and when I show you the events that unfolded in this video, you will see exactly why. This man in a pink polo is being held at gunpoint prior to a robbery attempt by the individual in the white shirt. The man runs across the street from his house into the neighbor's yard before the armed man fires 3 shots at the man in pink. The gun jams and locks for the duration of all 3 shots, and the man successfully flees away. The incident took place in Lake Mead near Las Vegas, Nevada, and it all started when the man in pink parks his car in his garage and is ambushed by the gunman in white. The victim runs across the street to his neighbor's home, which picks up the footage of the gunman firing his failed rounds. The scariest part about this video is that this gunman attacks in broad daylight and does so very recklessly when waiting for the man to open and park his car in his own garage. If the gun would have successfully fired, this would have been a much more tragic ending for the man in the pink polo.
Very much so.
This next clip...
But it's like so weird. It's like they just get a bee in the bonnet just to go target a random house. But I mean, like, yes, sometimes, like, when, you know, I don't even know what to say, because the thing is, I mean, what can you say? You know, it's like almost their version of a get rich quick scheme, you know. But it's like a lot of people, okay, for like us, my family, I don't even know if any other family does this, or tend to think we're a bit over paranoid. I think maybe I'll use that word. Let's just say, oh no, let me say more like we're overly cautious people. Okay, but like I've said before, we grew up in a very rough area. Okay, and growing up in those areas, we tend to know what certain signs are, we tend to know what's what, and you know, so on and so forth. When we see some type of odd, it happened where we used to say, if there's like this odd mark, very random mark, very out of character, very abnormal, like on your premises, either you get rid of it fast or you get rid of it fast. Because the thing is, sometimes, a lot of the time, if the smiley stick is slapped on your wall, just rather remove it to be safe. Because yes, it could be, let's just say, some kid walked across and just slapped the sticker, let's just say, or by some miracle the wind blew the sticker and it just slapped onto your wall. Okay, fine. But always rather just take it off, because some of them do tend to like stick something on your wall or make a marking on your wall, so to alert the people, okay, come rob this house or come rob these people. Because you might not notice, but they are watching you. No matter where you are, what you're doing or anything, they are watching you. So the best thing to do is, if you see anything odd on your property, remove it. Because I've seen it once before, a marked property, and then like a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks later, it's like when you forget about that marking, that that house was broken into or somebody attempted to break into the house. So always watch, like if you really always see something very odd on your property that you can't even explain yourself, just remove it off your property, just in case that it happens to be somebody's marking your property. It's always just rather be safe than sorry. Okay, I mean, I know every like location has their own ways of doing it. Some properties get marked, some properties don't. Some person will just all of a sudden get this interest to rob somebody. Yes, it's all different. It's very unpredictable, unfortunately. But sometimes they have like a method of doing their stuff. So just maybe, like I said, just be more aware of your surroundings and watch what's going on your property. Because for all you know, if it's like that everywhere, you might actually just save your house from getting robbed, or might just actually save yourself from getting hurt, But other than that, like I said, every place is different. So that's the only thing I can tell you from my side.
Was captured around 2 a.m. A man by the name of Trey Thomas recorded alarming activity on his Ring doorbell camera. Two masked men are seen charging at Trey's door, and they are not messing around when it comes to breaking and entering. When one of the gunmen doesn't realize is the more force he uses to kick down the door, the closer he is to accidentally firing the gun in his own pocket. The man on the left begins kicking the door with the backside of his leg while his body is facing the opposite direction. And after the second kick, the criminal fires off the gun and shoots himself in the thigh. And in Scooby-Doo-like fashion, the pair skip across the street in between two neighbors' houses. Unbelievably so, the unharmed masked man returns for a round two. Pulls out his gun in Trey's front yard, but the homeowner already called the authorities, which forces the man to retreat from the premises. The other criminal idiotically goes to a local hospital after they shoot themselves and were arrested on the premises. His partner has never been identified or caught, and Trey is still not sure why the two criminals specifically targeted him in his father's home.
I was in such shock at the fact
They
that
don't
somebody
need
was
a
at my
reason,
front door
dude,
like
at
that
all.
I didn't even think to look at my phone.
This is what Trey Thomas's Ring doorbell recorded at 2 o'clock Monday morning. He's convinced
Idiot.
the only reason the pair ran off is because when the one on the left was kicking the front door, he shot himself in the thigh with the gun in his pocket. The two ran across the street and between two houses. But just when Thomas thought it was all over, one of the men came back.
I could see the one standing in my front yard, and he pulled his gun out of his pocket right in my front yard. So the first thing I did was turn around and run back upstairs and make sure my dad wasn't in harm's way.
They called the police, who responded right away.
There was actually a shell on the ground outside my house from when he shot himself in the leg. So they went ahead and did the crime scene investigation, took pictures of footprints and the shell, whatnot, and they checked the neighborhood to make sure they weren't still around.
They weren't, but the man with the bullet wound showed up at a hospital to be treated. Police confirm detectives interviewed and then arrested him, while the other is believed to still be at large. Thomas says he doesn't understand why the two targeted his home.
My dad didn't know what it was. He realized it was somebody banging at the front door, but he didn't know what it was for. Like, we don't have any reason to have any conflicts like this or any anybody trying to break into my home.
He says the two may be friends of his 16-year-old brother, who doesn't live at their home full time. But he still doesn't understand why his home was targeted, especially since his front porch is well lit and shows the doorbell.
Out of all the houses on the cul-de-sac, I'm sure that I'm one of the few houses that have a camera on their house. And it just so happened they chose my house to kick in.
To any single...
Unless... Because the way I'm understanding it, his brother is a bit on the bad boy side, you know. So unless, because it sounded like they were masked. I think they were masked. You don't know. Could have been one of the uninjured one could have been his brother, you know, initiation type of thing. Or his brother had done something that pissed them off, so now they're targeting his family. We don't know. Or at the end of the day, they just felt like targeting anybody, so they just ran to the first house and did that, you know. Like I said to you, they're unpredictable. They're very unpredictable.
Men or women out there who walk home late at night, please always pay attention to your surroundings and the people trailing closely behind. You never know if your gut will steer you in the right direction until it's too late. This woman's ring cam captures the close call she has between her and this stranger attempting to overpower her when she arrives at her front door. The incident happened in an apartment complex in the Bronx neighborhood of New York. The woman noticed the man out of the corner of her eye while walking home at 2 in the morning. The footage from the apartment complex shows the man following the woman inside the main entrance of the building, as well as the corridor leading up to her apartment. The creepiest moment in the video is when the man drops the act and begins panicking to catch up to the woman. He pauses before bursting into a sprint and attempts to stop the apartment owner's door from closing. And incredibly, the woman's gut instincts proved her right when she hears the man running down the hallway to her unit. Quick on her feet, the woman knows what is about to happen and abruptly opens and shuts the door to her apartment. Barricading herself in the safety of her home, the man calls out and bangs on the door. If this woman would have even hesitated for a couple of seconds, the man would have successfully broken into the unit.
The video is terrifying. It was just a matter of seconds.
He was literally like 1 second from going inside.
Today, this brave woman, still shaking, finding the courage to speak out about that day as she arrived home from work around 2 in the morning.
There was two guys like outside, right? And they were just like looking suspicious.
You see her walking into the building, cautiously eyeing a man on the side. Seconds later, that same man in the white tank top walks into the Sherman Avenue building behind her. She knew he was up to no good.
He followed me inside the building and he said miss twice.
She describes the horrifying moment seen in this video as the suspect accesses the lobby. Seconds later, the woman knew he was around the corner and she quickly tried to open her apartment lock. Her instincts spot on. He came right after her, determined to get inside.
Open up the door, bro.
I came inside and then right away I just screamed, somebody's following me. Like he was literally 1 second from coming inside.
As she watches this video, she knows she was
so
very
close.
lucky.
I feel very scared. Like I was saying, what if I had the top door locked? What if, like, it was literally just 1 second. If I had the top lock, he could have got of me.
Oh God,
Our next video in the countdown involves a father and family being robbed at gunpoint by a total of 4 different men. It appears that this attack is not random and the perpetrators know the man who they are targeting. The 4 men already robbed the father on the front lawn, but they aren't finished with their agenda. They go inside the home and continue to kidnap valuables.
You know, it is so big of you to have, how many, like 5 guys here? 5 guys against 1 guy? How about going 1 against 1 and see who goes down? Are you that much of a freaking wimp that you need 5 guys to take 1 guy down? Flippin' go, P.
And illegal narcotics. Although no one in the household was severely injured, this was definitely a close call for this family of 4, and especially for the father being held hostage.
4 guys, sorry. Looks like 4 guys.
And those were just some of the terrifying moments. As you can see there, the gunman came to the door. Police say they had already stolen from the man.
And what's the freaking point? The one person's face is already shown fully. I mean, come the hell on. I mean, why don't you just slam the door open like all the others do instead of using the freaking key?
And forced him to the ground and taking everything on him. When he gets up, the gunman pushed the man to the door and forced him to go inside. Police say once the 4 robbers got in, they stole something else inside.
It appears they got away with some lottery tickets and some illegal narcotics. It doesn't appear that this case is random at all. It appears that the victim may have known the suspects.
Imagine you and your partner decide to go out and have a nice...
It's still horrible, but I mean... Okay. So, listen, Nat. Next time, watch the video finish before you actually start going through the thing. But, so, looks like they knew each other. Okay, so he did something bad. They came to come collect. Well, if you want to be in that trade, you're going to have to be prepared for this shit, hey?
Evening at a restaurant, and while you're enjoying your meal, you get a notification from your ring cam notifying you that there's activity in your home. Well, this couple receive the shock of their life when they see 2 masked individuals ordering their children to lie face down on the ground while continuing to ransack their house. The homeowner tries desperately to communicate with the intruders over the intercom, and he lets them know that they are being filmed, the authorities have been called, and their neighbors are outside the door. Ironically, once the criminals are aware that they are on camera, that acts enough as a deterrent for them to evacuate the home straight away. This goes to show you how crucial a ring cam can be when trying to prevent any unwanted visitors from having complete control in these kinds of situations.
It's a brazen home invasion. 2 armed men burst into a house in Pasadena, Texas. 3 victims are ordered to the floor. Then, one suspect lifts one young lady by her hair and orders her to another part of the house. As the terrifying invasion unfolds, the parents, who are out for the evening, watch in horror on their Ring camera cell phone app.
Hey, who's in my house? I got you on camera. The cops are on their way. My neighbors are there. They're calling the cops right now. Y'all better get out of my house. Y'all better get out of my house now.
It is a terrifying incident. If you watch the video there, you can see what a traumatic incident it actually was.
Do you think the fact that they were talking to these robbers via Ring video, that had some impact on them leaving quickly?
As soon as that camera system activates and someone's talking to them saying, get out of my home, get out of my home, you can see how quickly they left.
This last video is...
Make sure you feel like, why don't you just live in my house? You know, you can have everything you want there. You know, like I said, people work hard every day for what stuff they've got. You can have you can be an everyday earning person, okay? Minimum salary, you know, you don't earn a lot, but you have this fantastic ass, huge, big, okay, let me say that. You finally bought yourself that PS5, you know, because you saved 6 months to buy it. And then you get some idiot like this that walks in your house as if they own it, and they take that PS5 away. Fucking people don't even...
It's equally confusing as it is creepy. It involves a man who looks to be in his late 30s knocking on the stranger's doorbell late at night. This incident happened recently in December of 2022. This man knocks on the door and waits while the homeowner responds. When the homeowner finally does, the man stands in the camera's view like a deer in headlights and says his name is James, followed by the statement that he's looking for a friend named Sammy, last name Sosa, as in Sammy Sosa, the professional baseball player. Judging from the shape of his pupils and his overly expressive emotions, the man is more than likely on some type of illegal substance when he stumbled into this man's front porch. After some awkward silence, the homeowner asks him to clarify. The man says James again, and that he is looking for his friend. Now, this homeowner is done with this game of 21 questions and threatens the man to get off his porch. And luckily, the man in the video doesn't return for the remainder of the evening. But when looking for updates on this case, the same man was apprehended and detained in a nearby apartment complex that following morning.
Oh wow.
This is my name is James. Sosa. Sammy.
What's your name?
James.
And who are you looking for?
No, a friend of mine.
No friend of yours lives here, buddy.
and I got a Glock over here ready for you. So if you don't get the fuck off my porch, I'm gonna unload it on your fucking face.
You!
Get the fuck off my porch.
Alright.
Ooh, did you hear that? If you don't get off my porch, kaboom! A lot of these people have some huge kahunas when it comes to a lot of this stuff. And I actually feel so sorry for a lot of these people that, I mean, like, we all go through it at least maybe once in our lifetime or a couple of times in our lifetimes, okay? But it's the most horrible feeling ever to get your possessions stolen from you. It is horrible and it's so unfair. Especially, like I said, you work so hard for your stuff and then you get some idiot that comes off and like grabs it from you. You know, it's like it's absolutely unfair. It's really unfair. And honestly, I think a whole bunch of them should get thrown into a hole and like everybody gets to go all purge on them. But like, you know, that's my opinion. I mean, like, it's enough to piss you off so much. I mean, yes, it's not right, almost like taking it into your own hands, okay? Even though sometimes, or most of the time, I feel it's fair, okay? But like the one woman with a daughter, she didn't have to basically shoot and kill that kid, okay? All she could have done was just phone the cops and get them to come and sort it out. But there's certain things that I feel that, yes, it can get taken into your own hands, but at the same time, maybe just call the cops, because there are a lot of consequences that do follow afterwards, you know, unless you're part of a society that, you know, like taking stuff into your own hands is fine. But other than that, it's just like, I really wish these people would stop. I really do. It's so unfair and it makes you angry. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.